Hey everybody, it's Nate and Steph from EXPLORIST.life. We teach people how to build DIY campers. And this video is episode number 3 in a new series of videos where we will be showing you step by step from the ground up how we're upfitting our brand new Ford Transit. Now in the last video, we gave you a pre-build tour of the van and showed off some of the OEM equipment that we had installed on this van by Ford. And in this video, Steph and I are going to give you a ton of insight into the initial planning of the interior of this van. Now, 2 weeks ago, I asked everybody what projects you wanted to see, and we have gotten an overwhelming number of ideas. So we're going to be incorporating those requests into this build as much as possible. So let's jump off script for just a bit and show you how we brainstormed this project. So kind of want to talk about the goals of the build. So the first one that we talked about was we wanted everything to be modular.
Yep.
So everything can be removed for the most part.
Yep. So we basically want to be able to turn this van back into a cargo van if needed.
Yep. And I visualize that being L-track on the walls. So there and there. And then the only things that will probably stay in the van pretty much full time would be like the utilities cabinets, which will be like over the wheel well for the water, potentially water heater, water tank, water pump, anything watery over on this side. And then that side will be electrical over that. But aside from that, like I think like cabinets up top, the kitchen, the bed, all that stuff will be able to be removed without like damaging the walls or anything like that. Everything will just bolt right to the L-track so that we could turn this back into a utility vehicle for the most part if needed.
Yep, perfect.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Next was going to be repeatability. So since we're doing this all for like tutorials for you guys, we want these projects to be repeatable, which means that we want, if we do a project, we want it to be at the DIY level where you guys can repeat it, because ultimately we're doing tutorials so that they can be repeated. Which means that the things need to be, we're not going to be using tools that are like, we're not going to be using CNC machines or anything that like, you know, the common person doesn't have a hold, can't get a hold of like pretty easily. We also are going to have to weigh the options of doing things like, for example, walls. A few weeks ago, whenever I asked about walls, everybody wanted me to DIY the walls. But also, we're going to have to weigh the options between something taking 4 days and 4 weeks, because that's kind of the difference between like the Adventure Wagon kit versus the DIY Walls kit. Anything else on that? And lastly is bang for your buck. So if you've been around the channel for a while, you've heard do it right, do it once. And we're going to be doing that a lot. Like we're not building the cheapest build. That's definitely not the goal. But we're trying to get high quality components that you've installed yourself. And you're being able to save money on the labor because we're hopefully going to be providing you with the knowledge to install this stuff correctly and have those high quality components. So I would say those are the 3 things. Do you have anything to add to any of those?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's start actually planning.
Let's do it.
So we have a ton of sticky notes and a bunch of tape. And let's, Jet, where would you like to start?
Let's start with general layout of things that well, let's start with things that we know where it's going to go. So water tank.
Yeah.
Right.
So tentatively, let me have a color. What color you want for water? Blue?
Blue.
That makes sense. And we're not doing exact measurements, obviously, but we're just going to get kind of close. Because we'll probably be sketching a lot of this stuff out in SketchUp as we go. So probably up to... So I imagine this will be our first line of L-track.
Yep. So we'll probably go pretty much all the way up.
Water cabinet, essentially, for now.
Cool. And so in that cabinet, we'll have the water tank, water pump. What else? Water heater.
Water heater. Yeah, if we do an electric water heater, that would live in there. If we did like a diesel-fired heater, that would probably live maybe up front. But it could also potentially live back here too.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing the water tank that's just like over the wheel well. Having the water tank inside because 4 seasons capability is really, really important.
Yeah.
we live in Colorado. We travel for snow skiing. And so having the water tank inside as opposed to outside is really important for us. And I think for everybody on that YouTube video from the other day, having 4 seasons capability was like really important to everybody.
Definitely top of the list. Yep.
So tank, pump, water heater, everything like that will go into there.
Cool.
Now this cabinet won't move. This will be like one of the modular things that it's just going to be there. It'll be bolted to the wall, but ultimately it's not going to be something we plan on taking in and taking out like very often, I would imagine.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Not without some work.
Okay.
Okay, electrical cabinet's going to be on the other side.
We're going to use blue again because it's Victron.
Perfect.
And that's basically going to mirror the water tank, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'd like to make these the exact same size, the exact same look, just for aesthetics.
That's kind of what I meant by mirroring it.
Oh. Wasn't that fancy. So electrical. So probably, we hadn't decided all the way on like batteries, but probably we'll do like 2 of the 270 amp hour Battleborn batteries in this general vicinity. Victron Multi-Plus inverter charger back here, and all the associated charge controllers up top. Something along those lines. We'll be putting all that together in SketchUp and trying to actually figure out how that's going to look. But tentatively, that's that. Okay, what's next?
Cool. From those, we'll basically be making benches to go over both of these and a table in the middle, correct?
Yeah, sounds good. Benches, I think that's fairly self-explanatory on the side, so we can like actually sit here to eat.
Yeah.
We will be putting, I think we're going to try to find like a way to make the table into a like a convertible like table/bed kind of thing, where the tabletop drops down and we put the mattress across.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thought with this, but I think we're also going to have an option for a standard like, elevated bed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, kind of playing into the modular aspect of things, if we're going somewhere that we have to take bikes, we want to be able to put the bikes in here and the bed up top. If we're going somewhere that we're not necessarily going on a biking trip, it's nice to have like seating room and, spot for tables or a table and everything like that.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So question there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in my head I had it as the L track would be here,
mm-hmm.
and we would be able to do the dinette bed like we were talking about,
mm-hmm.
and then we would also have another bed of L track above that we would be able to mount the bed to if we wanted to have it elevated. In my head, that was about right here, but that's not going to work.
Okay. So bed potentially right here. I'm going to put a question mark on that.
Okay.
Because we're going to have to figure out how to do that. So I know like the Adventure Wagon kits, they have a bit of like extra bracing in here. And I want to say, I'll have to look after this video, but I think there's an extra piece of L-track right here, or there's a way to span the gap from the L-track that would be up here to the L-track that would be down here. So we can have that bed, in this area, because otherwise that's right there in the way.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So we're going to figure that out.
Yes.
Okay. What else you got?
Okay. So then, upper cabinets, staying back here. Upper cabinets. Do we want any kind of upper cabinets back here?
So in our last build, we kept hitting our heads on our upper cabinets.
Yeah.
That were above the bed.
Specifically,
Specifically you. Well, I didn't have an upper cabinet above my side of the bed.
Yeah.
So in the Sprinter, we had a cabinet up here, and I think we still have one. But I think the cool thing about it is I would like to make one. But being modular, I mean, it's like if we keep hitting our heads on it, we can either A, pay attention, or B, like take them out.
Yeah, well, 4 years of me doing it, and I still wasn't paying attention, so I don't know
It might,
how good of a plan that is.
it might not get any better.
But we could also just do a smaller cabinet, like not as deep, because the ones in our Sprinter came out, if I remember correctly, it was 12 inches. No, it was 14 inches, I think. Anyway, 12 to 14 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite a ways. If we did it like, a smaller shelf or a smaller cabinet that was maybe half the width, depth.
Yep. So cabinets, maybe 12 inches and an 8 inches kind of thing. We could like make different ones, kind of put together some plans for a few different ones. And, then we could pick out which ones we like, and then we could make the plans available for you guys. And that way you can kind of like play around with whichever ones you see. But ultimately, either one would work. Let's make, regardless of whatever size of cabinets we make there, let's make it work for whatever L-track system we put up here.
Cool. Got it.
Another option on those is I've seen like it's like basically like a bag. I mean, it's like a soft bag kind of thing. I think Adventure Wagon makes them, but I think there's a few other companies that make them too. It's just like almost like a duffel bag, if you could imagine the duffel bag being just fastened to the L-track. So it kind of
personally don't like those though.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like the look of them.
Yeah, they look kind of dumpy.
Like a duffel bag. Like you screwed a duffel bag to the wall.
Okay, you screwed a duffel bag to the wall. Okay, well, we won't do that then.
Cool.
Okay, what else we got?
Okay, I think that's it back here. Yeah. What else goes back here?
We need to talk about outlets, but let's get furniture and stuff out of the way.
Yeah,
first.
let's do the whole floor plan first, and then that'll give us a better idea of outlets.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Kitchen. I loved where our kitchen was in the Sprinter, so that would be like here to, like roughly here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sticky note. What color is our kitchen?
Green.
Kitchen. It's like
Kitchen.
that. We'll figure out heights and stuff like that. That's actually probably pretty close.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay, cool. Overhead cabinets. That could be definitely a thing that like either gets extended, or it could be like, the whole modular functionality. It could be something that's the exact same width as the kitchen and just plop it right there.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So we've got quite a bit of space above the door on the transit. So it's like, in my mind, it's like, the bottom of the shelf is right here, or bottom of the cabinet is right here.
Where does the upper L-track go?
I'm not sure if there's holes behind this or not. I hope there is. I had to tear that off and look.
Okay.
So if not, it'll be like right here in this area. So.
Okay.
That'll be another project, is getting in here. That'll be next week.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so definitely uppers up there at the very least, like something even just a little bit shallow for like spices and stuff like that, like kind of a spice rack type thing.
Okay.
But yes, uppers there.
What's going on that side?
I don't know.
A ball pit.
Maybe not.
No.
Okay. Bathroom needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're not doing a full floor to ceiling bathroom like we did in the Sprinter, correct?
Correct.
That's what we've decided?
I think so.
Okay. But we need somewhere for a toilet to go.
So in my head, this side was like basically cabinets all the way over for the most part. And then honestly, what if we had like some kind of like cabinet module that has like, it's like a bathroom module slides inside of it, or then like a shelving unit can slide inside of it kind of thing. So it's almost like a countertop that's here, could come all the way out to here. Mm-hmm. So whenever this swivels around, it's like you have a little bit of workspace there.
Yep.
But then like, it was basically just a countertop is effectively all of it is. countertop that secures to the L track down here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could take like a secondary like insertable module type of thing, and it just right in there.
Okay, cool. And just a little cabinet for the toilet.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll have to figure all that. But do you initially hate the idea?
No.
Okay. And then I think same thing right here. It's just, well, maybe that would be kind of cool because it's like countertop, and then it could be like a bathroom module, a store, you know, a drawer module, I'm losing the word for just the doors.
Cabinet
Module.
could also have it left open for like just make that a desk area.
Yeah. A desk module.
Desk module. That would be a lack of module though. Leg space.
You have to pay extra for that. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, no, I like that idea. So that'd give a lot of counter space too.
Yeah.
So that kind of extends the kitchen.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, we're gonna have to play around with the kitchen idea because it's like, you know, if we talk about putting a refrigerator inside of it, so I'll be doing like an upright refrigerator this time around instead of a chest refrigerator. I think it's just like seems smaller, more compact. We'll have to play around with how big this actually is. I already have an idea of that modeled up in SketchUp, which we did like last year or something like that, like pre-pandemic or whatever. But we'll have to figure out like how big that actually is in relation to this. So.
Yeah. Well, because the refrigerator could go on this side too. Like it doesn't have to go in this.
Yeah. No.
This cabinet.
Yeah. Agreed.
Cool. Uppers up here as well.
Yeah.
And then I think I would personally like a window right here.
Okay. Would you like it to open?
I would like it to open. Yes, that would be ideal.
Okay.
Airflow.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have a window. Well, we don't have a window anywhere back here, except for the doors.
Okay. Opening for a window. Do you want a window in the door? This side?
I'm indifferent.
Indifferent on window.
Indifferent on
All right,
window.
so we'll leave it off for now, I think. Because if we have a window on this side, like
ultimately we can open the door. There.
We can open the door and it becomes a window.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is going to be a bunch of open space, which will be nice.
Yes.
Compared to our last sprinter, which was really closed off and everything like that.
Yeah. I'd also like to have, so we're going to have the swivel seats, right?
Yes, swivel seats.
On this cabinet, I would like to have a slide out table that comes all the way across here so that both seats can have a table.
Both seats need a table for sure.
Both seats need a table. Yes.
Swivels. Swivel. And then tables.
Slidey table.
Tables for chairs.
Cool.
And that'll be over in this general vicinity. Because I know they have like the ones that come out from underneath. We'll kind of brainstorm how we want the tables to work. But what we know now is that we want tables.
Yes, I want tables. Yeah. Yeah, we'll brainstorm more, but I was actually thinking more of it being built into that cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Have a slide.
Okay.
Have a module that slides
Perfect.
out and makes kind of turns it into an L.
Cool. Oh, I see. We'll throw it in a SketchUp and figure it out. Okay, perfect. So that is up there. It's cabinets, upper cabinets, utilities, beds. What else are we thinking? Furniture wise, layout wise, anything like that? Off to a good start, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about outlets. Where we want outlets. So I've got 2 colors here.
Yes, those are 2 different colors.
So we want, I think we just have outlets evenly spaced. Last time around, I think we got way too creative with outlets, and I think people get too creative with outlets. So if we put like 12 volt and 120 volt outlet back there, same thing right here. Oop, sorry. Same thing up here with outlets. So all these green ones are going to be just basically outlets. Up here, and back here. So just evenly spaced, honestly, kind of like they are in a house. Like, in a bedroom, you've got an outlet on either side of the bed, and then one behind the TV, and then one on the wall opposite of the bathroom. So basically, if we just evenly space them out and about,
yeah,
I don't see that's going to be just fine.
6 outlets, yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah, 6 outlets. That's more than enough.
It's like 80 square feet.
Yeah, that's.
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's way plenty. And most of these will be on the same circuit, so it'll be this one, and probably that one will be on the same circuit. So I'll keep that easy. Something else I want to incorporate that is from an outlet standpoint. So all the wiring, we're going to put all the wiring in the walls this time around, because if we have wiring that's exterior to the walls, whenever we pull everything out, to keep goal number 1 in mind with being modular, I don't want wires and looms and stuff like that still exposed.
Yeah.
So I want to try some stuff with having like basically plugs in the sides of the walls, where we can run like lighting and switched lighting into some of the cabinets. I think that's going to be I'm going to have to figure that out off camera, because it's going to take some advanced brainstorming and beer drinking and just looking at it basically. But I'll probably do that this evening or tomorrow or something like that, and kind of come up with an idea of how that's going to work or anything like that, because I really love whenever I can have upper cabinets that have lighting underneath.
Yes.
But whenever it's a matter of like taking the cabinet off the wall, it's like, well, you're left with a bunch of wires that are already connected. So if I had like a plug, that was,
oh yes, yeah.
that was in the cabinet, it's like, okay, plug the cabinet in and then put the cabinet up, and then there's a part of the plug that's on a switch that's over here that's built into the wall full time.
Right. Then
sure would look nice, and that'd be a really cool function. I haven't seen that yet, so we're trying to be groundbreaking on that thing.
Groundbreaking outlets.
Groundbreaking outlets.
Cool. Yeah. No, I like that idea.
Okay. So that's most of the electrical outlets and loads and stuff like that. Refrigerator, we may make it to where we wire it for in the wall to where it can be on either side. Like, okay. I don't see a problem with doing that. And then we can just fuse it in the fuse block. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Stuff on the ceiling. So we're probably going to do a rooftop air conditioner. We really like the idea of the cruise and comfort air conditioners, but they just take up a lot of space on the inside. Mm-hmm. And so as of shooting this video, we haven't made a big decision on that yet, but we're definitely leaning more towards a rooftop air conditioner. And I'm going to have to play around in SketchUp to find out exactly where it's going to be, so that I can maximize the amount of solar panels that we can put up on the roof rack as well. So we're going to have a max air fan somewhere up here, and we'll have an air conditioner somewhere up here, and then we'll have lights everywhere there's not a air conditioner or a roof air fan.
Right.
Do you care if they're like puck lights or like strip lights? Do you have a preference? As of today?
As of today, no. I mean, I like the puck lights in the other van.
Okay, cool. So we'll kind of play around.
Works.
We'll kind of look around for some inspiration too, and like, as we're...
Track lighting?
Track lighting? Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Okay.
Modular.
We can get rid of the lights altogether. Modular lighting. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much where everything is going to go. Is there anything that we're missing?
I'm sure there is.
Grace, are we missing anything? Okay. So I think that's all. Can we say this is good enough for now? Now this is pretty much just like, planning for phase 1 of this build. We didn't really talk about like, color palettes and stuff like that's going to be 112% your job. I'm not going to do color palettes.
You can't tell green from blue, so I'll do that.
This is true. So this is more like where things are roughly going to go, making sure that we're on the same page about this, trying to incorporate the ideas that everybody gave us over the last few YouTube videos everything like that. And then like as this project evolves, there's a good chance we're going to have another planning phase or 2 or 3 or 5 or however many it honestly takes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
This is an evolving process.
This is an evolving process, and we're excited for it.
Yep.
This is going to be great. So thanks for watching, and we're going to cut right to the outro. Now that we've got most of the planning for this build handled, for now at least, it's time to move on to the next step, which will be planning all of the wiring runs throughout the van to the various components and devices that we just decided where they're going to go. And that's coming up next, so stay tuned. Now, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, it would be awesome if you would share it with somebody or a group who you think could use it. Leave any questions you've got or new things you learned in the comment section below. And if this video inspired you to build something, be sure to tag your projects with the Explorist Life tag on Instagram so that we can see and share your projects. Now subscribe if you want to see more DIY camper building tutorials, and I will see you in the next video.